Hey, I'm Colin Stavern, and this week we'll be going over a strategy that you can now use due to Bill C-208. All right, so let's go over a strategy today that allows you to use your capital gains exemption while you're alive, while also withdrawing cash from a corporation tax preferred. All right, so let's go over an example. We'll use a farm example in this scenario where mom and dad can use their capital gains exemption to their advantage due to Bill C-208. So let's start with the farming child who owns common shares of farm corporation. We also have mom and dad here on the sidelines that each still have $500,000 in capital gains exemption room remaining. So what farming child can do is convert his common shares to preferred shares, also known as doing an estate freeze, and issue new common shares to a family trust. Mom and dad are named beneficiaries of the family trust along with the farming child. After a few years, let's say the common shares have grown in value by $1 million. The farm corporation can then make a capital distribution to the family trust, which can then be pushed out to mom and dad. So essentially, the farm corporation can move $1 million worth of shares to mom and dad. So we'll split that up between the two of them. So now mom and dad own $500,000 each of Farm Corp shares. Then the farming child can make a new corporation, call it New Farm Corp, that goes and purchases mom and dad's $500,000 worth of shares in Farm Corp. Now this is where Bill C-208 allows you to use this strategy. Even though farming child owns New Farm Corp, mom and dad are allowed to use their capital gains exemption on the sale of their shares to New Farm Corp. So essentially, their taxable income will be zero based on this transaction as they're able to use their $500,000 capital gains exemption to shelter tax. To wrap it up, New Farm Corp now owns shares of Farm Corp. Farm Corp is able to push $1 million of cash up to New Farm Corp, which then pays for the shares that it just purchased from mom and dad, thus having withdrawn $1 million from the farm corporation tax efficiently and having used mom and dad's remaining capital gains exemption while they were alive. It's important to note that I've tried to keep this example somewhat simple. A good accountant will be able to review all the pros and cons of using this strategy along with its costs. To wrap it up, the important takeaway is that Bill C-208 has opened up new tax planning strategies. If you're incorporated, speak to someone who understands these strategies and explore whether or not there's a fit for you. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.